Joining us now to discuss inclusion in hockey and sport in general is You Can Play board chair David Palumbo. David, why are people so upset following Reimer's decision not to wear a Pride warm-up jersey?
Well, it really stems from, the whole concept of a Pride night and wearing the jersey and what that is supposed to signify in terms of a welcoming environment in the arena that you're in, whichever team is hosting a Pride night, what it stands for in terms of, as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, you are welcome in that arena. And so Reimer's decision, unfortunately, equating it to religious beliefs, which, as everybody knows, there are many members of the community within the LGBTQ community that are members of faith as well, and no less diminished. But nonetheless, there is this false sort of comparison that goes on in terms of religious beliefs. And so many see that as an unfortunate cop-out.
We mentioned earlier that Brian Burke commented on the situation, saying that Pride jerseys are about inclusion and not necessarily an endorsement. Can you explain what he means by that?
Yeah, I fully endorse Brian's comment, and we've talked about it a number of times. And it's even, one further where it's like, you're not signing up for a newsletter here. You're not really changing anything. No one is requiring you to change your religious beliefs, member of a faith group. What this means is you are part of an organization that recognizes that the concept of inclusion and belonging for sports is across disciplines. It means you are a valued member of the community. It's a matter of just human respect. And so when Brian talks about there's nothing else going on here, you're part of an organization that is just stating its values, that as a human being, as part of this community, you are just as welcome and no less diminished than you are if you were part of the straight and allied community. And so what should be focused on, and I think what sometimes gets lost in this all or nothing discussion when people attach to it, is that night was a fantastic night by the San Jose Sharks. Every other team member wore that jersey, and they wore the goalie, who I believe has a religious symbol on the back of his mask, wore the jersey. You don't have to equate the two. Religion and respect coexist.
So in that vein, why is it so important for professional sports figures to not only promote, but also do the work to ensure that everyone who participates in sports is safe and included?
As I touched on just briefly at the outset, the concept of Pride Nights is not meant to be one magic bullet for everything when it comes to inclusion. It is a very visible tool by very visible organizations when it comes to pro sports or college sports at every level of sport. People seeing that, if they are a part of the community, and statistics show that the members of the LGBTQ plus community have left sports early because they haven't found it as welcoming over time. So that is a very visible symbol, much like Pride tape on the sticks has become a very visible and used symbol about stating just the obvious, that you are welcome here, because the visibility, and that little kid perhaps who's wondering how they feel different and what does that mean, and having stars and players, some of them that they look up to as their sporting heroes, demonstrate that to them they are making a public statement about you belong when we play. That is a critically important part of the overall discussion.
Thanks so much for joining us to talk about this important topic, David.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us.